Hello, my name is Anna and I love trying vintage recipes. So today I'm trying an entire holiday brunch menu from 1988. Today's recipes come to us from Holiday Meals, Cookies, Sweets, and Gifts. And I'll talk more about this book a little bit later. Yes, 1988. I am probably going to have a few people who are unhappy with me for calling recipes from 1988 vintage. And I am actually breaking my own rule for this. Normally, the recipes that I cook are 40 years old or older. I have a few exceptions. That's typically what I stick to. A lot of times, the recipes are older than me. I'm 42 years old, so I'm a vintage person, and that doesn't bother me in the least. But I have a very good reason for breaking my rule. I was 7 years old in 1988. So this is like peak childhood Christmas memories for me. I remember outfits I used to wear, presents I got that Christmas, meals, just, all kinds of food memories. So I had to do it. I was thrilled that they had an entire brunch menu in here. Let's get started with the first recipe. I'm starting things off with this chilled raspberry soup because, as indicated in the name, it needs time to chill. So before I get to this point, I actually had to pour my raspberries into my blender with just a little bit of water, blend them until smooth, and that's when I transferred them to this pan. And I am cutting this recipe in half as I often do, but I'll include the full recipe in the description down below. So I have my pureed fruit and I need to add the rest of my water, some cranberry juice, sugar, some whole cloves, just a couple, and a cinnamon stick. So I've got everything in there. I'm gonna go ahead and cook this over medium until it starts to boil. My mixture has come to a boil. It just took a couple of minutes. So now I need to remove it from the heat and let it cool completely. My mixture is completely cooled, so now I need to strain it and get those seeds out, get those cloves out, get that cinnamon stick out. It all smells just amazing. Like, it smells so good. I wouldn't say that I'm the hugest raspberry fan. Like, I don't dislike them, but I know some people really, really don't like them, and some people really, really love them. So I'm kind of falling in the middle here, but I gotta say, fresh raspberries, they smell wonderful. Also, this is something I love to do when I have to strain something. I have a strainer that fits right on top of this 4-cup measuring cup, and it's gonna make things super easy when I have to pour the liquid. So if you have if you have a combination that works for you, that's what I like to do. Add lemon juice and yogurt. So I have my little lemon juicer that I featured in my gift guide. So I'll link that in the description down below if you want this tiny, teeny little guy. I only needed like half a tablespoon of lemon juice, so it worked out perfectly. And I have some raspberry yogurt, and that goes in. Didn't have a lot of choices when it came to raspberry yogurt. My store only had this one in stock. I think there was maybe one other kind, but that was not available. But I feel like raspberry flavored yogurt is just maybe not as popular as it once was. Whisk together until blended. I've got my twist whisk, my favorite. So I think I'm ready to put this into the refrigerator until it is time to serve everything. Next, I'm making this sparkling ginger fruit compote. So I think both this and the raspberry soup are good candidates for things to make ahead of time because you need to chill this for at least an hour. And then after it's chilled, you add a couple of extra ingredients at the last minute. I've sort of prepped all of my ingredients here except for those last two. And it just says in large bowl, combine grapes. I cut my grapes in half because they were massive. They were just huge. The green ones at my store looked better than the red ones. I probably would have opted for red if I could have, because I think they would add a nice variation of color, but I'm going with what looked best. And then the orange segments, these are just canned mandarin oranges that I've drained as per the recipe. And then I have some canned pineapple chunks in juice. Again, all of this is per the recipe. Personally, I would probably go fresh pineapple, especially for a special occasion, but we're just going by what it says. And then I have some diced fresh pear with the skin on. I sometimes forget that pears exist, and this one was actually lovely. I did sample a little piece of it. It was nice and flavorful and soft, so I need to remember to, to have pears more often. Recently, I used orange juice concentrate in a recipe and I'm using it again. I feel like I did have orange juice concentrate more often in the 80s and 90s. I rarely use it now in a couple of recent recipes I have, but other than that, usually I don't keep it on hand. And then I also have some freshly ground ginger that smells amazing. It says that you can use dried ginger as well. I was able to get fresh, so that's what I did. I also sometimes, if I can't get the fresh kind, I do like to get, there's like a paste, a ginger paste in a tube. Sometimes that works really well. I'll pop in a photo so you know what I'm talking about. But gosh, that ginger smells so good. And it just says I'm supposed to mix this together well. Yeah, I do wish I had some red grapes in there. I think that would have made for a nice color. Oh well. I'm supposed to cover this and refrigerate it for at least an hour. You can't have holiday brunch without a baked good, so I'm getting to work on these toasted almond sticky buns. And they couldn't be easier because they start with crescent rolls. Heat oven to 375, doing that. Grease bottoms of muffin cups. So I'm cutting this recipe in half. So I just greased 6 of these. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Yes, just the bottom parts. So we're gonna start with what I'm assuming is like the yummy, brown sugary, sticky, like bottom part of these rolls. I'm supposed to combine my brown sugar, flour. I have some softened butter, milk, and just a tiny little drop of almond extract. Oh, I love the smell of almond extract. So good. There we go. Blend that together well. Thought a fork would be a good choice here. It's almost like a streusel kind of topping. Not sure if you can hear that in the background, but we got snow plows outside. Yes, it snowed last night. So this really is like a Christmas brunch, right? So here we go. We've got a lovely sugary paste here. So I'm supposed to spoon this mixture into my prepared muffin cups. Got a tiny spatula to help me out here. See if we can get it in there somewhat evenly. All right, I'm gonna try to spread that out just a little bit. Looks good, I'm ready to move on. And moving on means I have to open these crescent rolls. And you know I'm a refrigerated dough scaredy cat sometimes when it comes to opening these packages. I'm determined, I'm gonna be brave, I'm not gonna scream. It's gonna be fine. Okay, press the spoon. Maybe I can just, oh, see, that worked. And I didn't even get scared. Didn't even get scared, I'm getting braver. That was, honestly, that was like not as a startling of a pop. I'm not really sure why. I opted for the Meyer brand crescent rolls, just, you know, saving a few pennies. Unroll dough into 4 long rectangles. So 2, because I am cutting it in half. So I've got 2 rolls here. This is pretty common if you're not gonna use the crescent rolls as actual crescent rolls. You usually have to kind of pinch them and form a solid piece of dough. You don't want the seams to open up. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm actually gonna flip it over, do the other side as well. Here, let me unroll this one and then you can see the difference between, yeah, you can see where I kind of sealed up the seams here, and this one I haven't done yet. And I find doing this on both sides is very, very helpful rather than just doing it on the one side. So back when this was written, I don't think we had this yet. They do make crescent roll sheets that are just a solid sheet of dough. Then you don't have to pinch up the seams or anything. So you could probably use that too. All right. Oh, this is going like so much faster than I expected. All right, so we got that. In a small bowl, combine melted margarine. So let me get a little bowl. So I have to combine my melted butter. It says you could also use margarine. I'm using butter. And again, we go in with a little bit of almond extract. I probably could have gone even smaller on this bowl. I didn't realize how few ingredients I had in here. So because it's cold, my melted butter became a little bit more solid. So I'm just gonna pop that in the microwave for, you know, maybe 4 or 5 seconds to make it liquid again. There we are, that's what we want. So I'm supposed to brush my dough, whoops, with this butter and almond extract mixture. Okay, so now I have just some toasted almonds. These were sliced almonds that I chopped up and toasted myself. The recipe suggests that you toast them in the oven. I had so little that I just did it on the stovetop in a pan. All you need to do is add your almonds to a dry pan, spread them out, and then let them toast, you know, maybe 3-4 minutes, and they look like this. All you have to do is really keep an eye on them because you don't want them to burn, but there was no way that I wanted to get a pan out and like preheat the oven just to toast some almonds. So now I have to sprinkle these on top of that butter mixture. So it says roll up each rectangle. If I see a spot where like the seam is coming open a little, I'll just pinch it along the way so that stuff doesn't like leak out of there. Pinch edges to seal. So I've got to pinch where this edge meets that, you know, it's like the end of the roll basically. Just pinch that to seal as well. So then that is what you've got. You kind of want to work like a little fast because this dough is starting to warm up and get a little sticky. But luckily this, you know, this part doesn't really take very long. And I kept my crescent rolls in the refrigerator until the very last minute, until I was absolutely ready to use them. So I would suggest that you do that as well. Lovely. Oh man, I'm gonna make little cinnamon rolls this way, I think. Hadn't really thought about it. Oh, see, yeah, it is starting to get sticky. So you can see I've got these 2 little rolls here. If I had thought ahead, I would have gotten some unflavored dental floss ready to do this, but you know what? We're just gonna go in with a knife. I have just like a little serrated knife and I'm going in very gently as I slice, and it's not giving me any trouble. I was just afraid that they would flatten out a little bit too much on the ends, but they're doing beautifully. Oh, I'm so excited about these guys. Oh heck, look. Those look so cute. Oh, I'm really getting excited about this whole meal now. I mean, I was before, but even more so. Place slices cut side down in prepared muffin cups. Swooping back in with my muffin tin. Each of these goes in one of these little muffin cups. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It says bake at 375 for 15 to 25 minutes until golden brown. That is quite a range. I kind of like that they included that range because I found, especially in vintage recipes, that this refrigerated dough, sometimes it bakes up at different times than what they had back when the recipe was originally published. So I'm gonna start with 15 minutes. I will keep an eye on them and then we'll see how they turn out. I think they're gonna be great though. Okay, I think 15 minutes was the magic number for these because I think they look great, but I'm supposed to immediately invert this pan onto this rack. Let me get another oven glove. Okay, here we go. Will they come out? Okay, that one did. Oh yeah, oh heck yeah, we're doing it. Look, we did it. Oh, they're so pretty. They're so pretty. I cannot wait to try them. They're so cute. So we do have a little photo of what they actually are supposed to look like. So I think, yeah, to me, it looks like this is the top. And this is probably the prettier part of it anyway. So I'm gonna just set these aside while I make a glaze for them. And if you just watched my cookie video, this is basically the same kind of glaze that I made for the thumbprint cookies. It's very, very similar. So I have some powdered sugar in a little dish, and then you just add some milk and a tiny drop of almond extract. We're really leaning into the almond extract and I'm not mad about it. So let's see where this gets us. If I need to, I can add a little bit more liquid, but I think we might be there. I think the proportions they gave work very well for what we're trying to do. These are still warm. It says to drizzle the glaze on the warm rolls. I'm gonna just go in with a spoon. You know, if you really wanna get fancy, you could go in with an icing bag and do it that way, but I'm just gonna do it this way. And I think they're gonna be great. Oh yes. I wanna eat one of these right now, but I can't because I need to, I need to make the final dish before I give everything a try. But oh, they look so good. Now for our festive main dish, we have ham and broccoli brunch roll-ups. That is what we're going for. I don't know how close I'll get, but we'll see. So in a skillet, need to melt some butter. Good start, good start. To my melted butter, I'm adding some finely chopped onion. And then I have some chopped mushrooms, and indeed, you probably guessed it, these are canned mushrooms. That is what was indicated in the recipe, and truly that is probably what would have been used in 1988 for this recipe. So I just need to let those saute until the onion is cooked. And then I need to let this mixture cool for a little bit. So I have my mushroom and onion mixture off to the side, just cooling a little bit. And now I need to move on to my egg mixture. This is another recipe I'm cutting in half, but I will have the full recipe in the description down below. So I need to crack my eggs into this bowl. Add some milk and a little bit of dry mustard. Now I'm just gonna whisk that up. Stir in a mushroom mixture and set aside. So I'm gonna add my mixture of mushrooms and onions into my eggs and just stir that to combine. We're almost there. Now I just need to make my little broccoli bundles. So I have some ham slices here. It says thin ham slices. I really wanted to get rectangular kind, you know, and I know I can get those at Aldi, but I wasn't at Aldi. I don't know how many grocery stores you guys all go to in a week. Usually for me, it's like I go to at least 2 stores. Anyway, I just went with this Black Forest ham. We'll see how it works. And this is like ultra thin, so I may double up the slices a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like lay 2 slices on top of each other. Just, yeah, that seems a little bit more stable. Wrap ham slices around broccoli spears. Okay, these broccoli spears. The recipe calls for frozen broccoli spears. I didn't have the easiest time finding these, and I was prepared to just cut up some broccoli crowns, but I did manage to find them at Giant Eagle. You know, I was happy. Anything to save a little time, because these are just frozen broccoli spears that have been thawed. But yeah, you could probably just use fresh broccoli too, but hooray, hooray. I was able to get my hands on some of these. That looks so cute. It's like a little, a little broccoli in a sleeping bag. There were 2 like teeny tinies. Yeah, let's put you guys together. You guys are best buds at the sleepover. You know, the broccoli sleepover that I just made up in my head. And you know what? You guys are going to be best buds as well. Can I fit both of you in here? You might be a little bit of a tight squeeze. Slide onion ring over each ham roll up. So I had to like make these 4 onion rings, and I don't really know. Okay, that's working. That works. I put a ring on that one. Yep, that one worked. I had one ring that kind of came apart, so I think we're gonna save that one for this. Why is it like this? Anyway. Yeah, you'll get tucked in under there anyway. Insert 1 red pepper strip in each end of the ham roll-ups. This is like peak fanciness. I don't know why they didn't just have me like roll this up with the broccoli, but who am I to question? I'm supposed to put 1 at each end. I don't know if that's happening. We'll see. Yeah, okay, that worked. I just have to be strategic here about my red pepper. Hello? That doesn't want to work. Okay, maybe this one. Okay, you know what? This one's getting 2 at the top because I did too good of a job tucking in at the bottom. Place roll-ups down center of prepared baking dish. I have a small square baking dish that I have greased lightly, and I have to transfer these guys over. So fancy with that onion ring. Oh, this is going to be like the perfect sized dish for this. Yeah, look at that. That looks great. I'm going to slide you back to the center though. Coming back in with my egg mixture, it says pour egg mixture around roll-ups. Okay, so I have a little pour spout on my bowl here, and that is going to come in handy. I don't know. Has anyone ever made this? Usually I go for more of like just your standard egg casserole. But I thought, let's go super fancy here. Done. We're ready. We are ready to put this into the oven. So at first I have to bake this for, it says 25 minutes, and then sprinkle cheese over the top and bake an additional 10 to 15. So let's pop this bad boy in the oven. Stage 1, almost there. There's a little bit of egg that needs to be cooked yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle this with some Munster cheese. And then I'll pop it back into the oven for 10 or 15 minutes. Oh, wow. I am super looking forward to this. I have my beautiful little plate here, you know, my dish of fruit. The menu starts with the chilled raspberry soup. I ended up putting it in a little juice glass because it's kind of supposed to be a little bit of a beverage to start. Here we go. Oh, it smells so good. I can smell like the cinnamon and the cranberry. Oh, that's good. Oh, wow. Yeah, and it's only supposed to be little half cup servings, so just like a little bit of it to start the meal. That is really good. Okay. And then I have my sparkling ginger fruit compote. I decorated it with a little leftover raspberry for the thumbnail. So that's technically not supposed to be there, but I put it there. Okay. I know it's mostly just cut up mixed fruit, but it's very refreshing. I love that ginger taste in there. It really adds something to it. And then the ginger ale kind of supports that. It's a little bit fizzy. And that extra orange flavor, of course. I just got a piece of the banana with ginger. It was so good. This is going great so far. So I have one of the ham and broccoli brunch roll-ups. I love the visual on these. I love how they turned out, and you can kind of just slice them into their own individual servings. Like, how cool is that? I lost my onion ring somewhere along the way. I'm just noticing that. Well, there's onions inside the eggs, so I think it's okay. That's so good. I was slightly worried because there's no salt or pepper in the egg mixture or really anywhere in this dish. And then I remembered ham. There's ham in this. Ham is very salty and it's perfect. It's like a baked omelet. It's really good. And at first I thought making these little bundles, oh, that's kind of silly. Actually, I mean, it's a special occasion. It's a holiday brunch. I would go for it. I think it makes a really pretty presentation. Oh, heck. Okay, so finally I get to try one of these toasted almond sticky buns. Let me just show you. That's what the top looks like. They look like that on the bottom. Do I unroll it or do I just bite it? Okay, I had to go make sure I didn't have icing on my face, but that is so good. Oh my gosh, I'm doing this again. I mean, I would make these exact ones again. They're so good, but I think you could vary up the fillings. Maybe just make like a cinnamon roll or something, but these are so good. Oh my gosh, why have I not been doing this like all my life? This is such a good brunch meal. I mean, it's gonna be my lunch meal because it's not the holidays just yet. I love everything. I wasn't really sure. I thought, sometimes these little supermarket cookbooks, you just don't know about them. Are the recipes actually gonna be good? In this case, yes, absolutely. I would make all of this again. I mean, these are both very good. You could do both of these things. I had the fruit and the raspberry soup, both super refreshing and tart and lovely. And then you have, you know, this nice like brunchy main dish and your super delicious and sweet almond sticky buns. Like such a good combination of items that all complement each other really well. So I'm gonna enjoy this meal thoroughly and I'll come back a little bit later with some final thoughts. Holiday Meals, Cookies, Sweets, and Gifts was published in 1988. It's one of those little supermarket checkout kinds of cookbooklets from Pillsbury. Right there is the doughboy. And when I was growing up, my mom did occasionally pick these cookbooks up, especially around the holidays. I think a lot of people looked to these booklets for new ideas. And you will find that some of the recipes in these books are recycled. So you might see them in this book, you might see them in future cookbooklets or past ones or something like that, especially from Pillsbury because they're the ones who do the Pillsbury Bake Off. So sometimes you'll see those recipes in here too. I don't think that makes them bad. Actually, it probably makes them good recipes because they recycle them and they put them in additional publications. I think things like this maybe used to come out monthly or even quarterly, something like that. I don't know if that's the case anymore. I haven't actually noticed lately. I don't pay a lot of attention to what's at each supermarket checkout or like magazine area. Do they have like magazine areas in grocery stores anymore? I don't even know. Anyway, like I said, I was so happy to see that they included a holiday brunch menu here that had all the recipes, because sometimes in my vintage cookbooks, it'll have menus, but it'll maybe only have like 2 or 3 out of 6 recipes. And I really wanted something where I could follow several things that were in one place. So holiday brunch buffet for 8. So this was supposed to be served buffet style. I could see that. So we have chilled raspberry soup, or I could have made a citrus rosé punch, ham and broccoli brunch roll-ups, sparkling ginger fruit compote, toasted almond sticky buns, and then a cookie and candy assortment. I didn't do that because I just made a cookie video last week, so consider that my cookie and candy assortment. We were lucky enough also to have photographs of what this brunch would look like. I think I got pretty close. They were a little fancier with their icing on those almond sticky buns. Pleasant surprise, this menu. I didn't think it would be bad. I usually don't think that most of the recipes I try are going to be bad. I just don't know how good they're gonna be. All of this was very, very good. I would make every single item on this menu again. Favorites though, it might be a tie between the broccoli and ham like brunch roll-ups and those sticky buns. Actually, I think the sticky buns, because I can see myself making those on more occasions. Honestly, those would be so easy to make on Christmas morning if you're in a hurry. You know, I know a lot of people like to make things ahead of time, like a breakfast casserole or like a French toast casserole. If you didn't get to do that, sometimes you run out of time. So the toasted almond sticky buns, they really don't take a lot of time to put together. It takes me longer to put a recipe together on camera because filming kind of adds this extra layer of things where I need to really explain every step that I'm doing, and I prep everything ahead of time so that I can film it more smoothly. You could probably put these together in under 25 minutes or so. Mine only took about 15 minutes to bake. So yeah, I think if it's Christmas morning and you haven't had a chance to make anything ahead of time and you want to do something a little bit special for breakfast, those would be good. I also think they're kind of a good like pantry refrigerator kind of recipe. Everything but those crescent rolls are things that I have on hand all the time. So, you know, maybe you keep a couple of extra rolls of crescent rolls in the refrigerator at the holidays, and you know, you've got kind of a fun little treat for breakfast while you open gifts and whatnot. Just to kind of show a few of the other recipes in this book, the photographs are, these are like 1988. That is what 1988 looked like to me. It's like pretty much exactly as I remember, right down to this lovely sort of like rosy mauve like plate set, you know. There's also a little order form in here so that you can order more of these booklets. So it says give the gift that gets unwrapped 12 times a year. So it's like a subscription, a monthly subscription to these cookbooks. There was one other menu that I very briefly considered, and I didn't know how well it would work out. Merry microwave menu for 4. So this menu consists of apple stuffed turkey tenderloins, yes, cooked in the microwave, grandma's coleslaw, buttered carrots, French rolls, and grasshopper cream cake. So the French rolls and the carrots, they don't have the recipes in here. So that was kind of another strike against it. The coleslaw, you actually do need to microwave. I guess you need to cook the dressing ingredients. Interesting. I mean, I'd consider giving it a try. I just wasn't sure if it would be very successful. You know, 1988 was also a big time for microwaves. We cooked a lot of things in microwaves back then. I have a couple of microwave cookbooks in my collection, but I've never done a video on them. Let me know if you'd like me to, and I will. Looking forward to that if it happens. This is fun. This is a lot of fun. This is a Christmas tree made of vegetables, and I feel like I've seen this at a couple of, you know, holiday parties and stuff. That's fun. There's also a little section on homemade gifts in here. I recently did a video on a Better Homes and Gardens book from the 1970s, and that was about homemade gifts. Oh my gosh, simmering potpourri, how to make your own potpourri. And you've got the little simmer pot with the candle. I remember those so well. Potpourri was big. Potpourri was having a moment in the mid to late 80s, let me tell you. Oh my gosh, I remember this too. So there's an ad back here for this microwave cake and frosting. Did this one include the pan? There used to be one that included you'd have the mix and the frosting and the pan. I don't think it does. This one I don't think it does. There used to be one that did. I don't remember what they tasted like though. People make a lot of mug cakes in the microwave and those are pretty tasty. So if you remember what this microwave cake and frosting mix tasted like, let me know. But I do remember seeing it on the shelves when I was little. Oh, look at these Santa cookies. So these are made with refrigerated sugar cookie dough. Another fantastic shortcut if you're pressed for time and you do want to make some special cookies for the holidays. You know, you can get that and you can roll it out and cut it without having to make your own dough. I think this is actually like a slice and bake situation where you take the round cookie and you decorate it like a Santa. So another fun idea right there. I had so much fun with this menu. I was thrilled that it turned out as well as it did. I'll include all of the full recipes in the description down below as I usually do. I hope this video brought back some warm holiday memories for you, or maybe reminded you of a recipe you haven't made in a long time. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to see some additional content from me, you can join me over on Patreon. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.